And in this completely different situation, you will have to apply, whatever we have learnt. So this is going to be new, it is going to be challenging, and sometimes it will seem unsurmountable, sometimes it will seem कि अरे नहीं हो सकता है, but believe me, I've been teaching for around more than 20 years now. I feel that every child can crack these competitive examinations, right? Now you would have heard, so before I start with the course material, let me tell you how you should be preparing, right? How you should be going about. So the first thing is that you should have at least 3 copybooks for the classwork of 3 subjects. So whatever I am going to discuss here, you must be taking notes. It cannot be कि मैं एक्टर हूँ और मैं पिक्चर में एक्ट कर रहा हूँ और आप पिक्चर देख रहे हो. It is not going to work that way. The way that it is going to work is that you will have copybooks for all the 3 subjects separately, and you are going to take notes in the class, whatever is going to be taught. Okay? Then after teaching you something, I am going to give you problems to practice, okay, which you have to do at home, okay, until the offline classes start. Then of course you can do it in front of me, but up till that point you have to do the questions that I give at home. I will give you sufficient time to do those questions during the lecture only. After the lecture, we are going to give you, all the teachers are going to give you some homework, and that homework has to be diligently done, and I'll tell you the reason why. This homework is not like your school homework, okay? I don't want your burden, your academic burden should be there on your shoulders. कि नहीं हमें तो homework करना है. नहीं, it does not work like that. You have to sort of enjoy solving problems. Then this works out very nicely. So when I give you a homework, okay, you have to attempt that homework. Now this is going to be very different from the homework that you got in class 9th and 10th, because again, like I said, this is going to be application. Now if I give you 10 questions as homework, it may happen that you may only be able to do 6, or it may happen that you may only be able to do 5 questions or even less. So that does not mean that you are not good at this thing. It is simply the fact that whatever has been taught is absolutely new, and therefore your mind is still training itself to digest the material, to comprehend the material, and you will get it eventually. So what you need to do is, supposing that you solved successfully 4 questions out of 10, 6 are remaining, you need to ask doubts. Okay? This is a very, very integral part of preparation, and that is why this number is there, right? Yesterday night, 2 o'clock, I was answering doubts on WhatsApp. So what happens? The student, they can't do the question, take a snapshot of the question, send it over on WhatsApp. The teacher, whenever he or she has the time, they will reply, they will tell you how to start the question, they will tell you how to go ahead with the question. Using that, hopefully you should be able to solve the question. Now if you are not able to solve the question with the hint also, then you must contact the respective teacher and clear the doubts. Okay? So why should you do the homework? What is the importance of the homework? Number 1, your doubts, whatever they arise when you actually start solving, they will be done, they will be taken care of. And number 2, which is more important, is that whatever material I am going to teach you, it is not going to be permanently inscribed in your mind until you do some practice. Whatever we discuss here today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you may understand everything. You may say, हाँ मुझे सब समझ में आ गया. But अगर आपने उसकी practice नहीं करी, then after 2 months, after 3 months, it is guaranteed that you will, you will forget about everything. So, therefore, okay, please, the homework has to be done. We'll try to keep the load very, very small initially, and then we'll increase the load slowly, and you can at any time tell your teacher कि नहीं ये बहुत ज़्यादा है, ये बहुत कम है, हमें ज़्यादा homework चाहिए, जो कि नहीं होता है, but हो सकता है, right? Okay. So homework is a very integral part. Now you would have heard your seniors, your parents, your relatives कि अरे नहीं बड़ा मेहनत करना पड़ता है, बहुत मेहनत का काम है IIT या NEET crack करना. They are right, of course, but my question is always कि ये मेहनत क्या चीज़? What do you mean by मेहनत? What do you mean by hard work? Should the student go outside and should the student start digging a hole in the mud? Is that the kind of hard work that we are talking about? Or should I sit on my table for 10 hours straight? Is that the kind of hard work that we are talking about? No, that is not what is meant by hard work, okay? And I'll tell you exactly what is meant by hard work. And I'll tell you exactly how you can do it, okay? So the way to carry out these studies is, number one, I told you that you have 3 separate notebooks for the 3 separate subjects, physics, chemistry and maths, for the class work. And then you have 3 separate notebooks again for homework, okay? So I am going to give you maybe, let's say, not now of course, later on, I am going to give you homework from 3 sources. One will be our booklet and 2 other sources, maybe 2 other reference books that I will talk about. Right now we don't need any reference books, but you can buy H.C. Verma in the future. That will be the main reference book that we will be dealing with. We will be giving you a booklet today after the class in PDF form. It will be given on the group, and you can come and collect it from the center as well. The booklet which will be for the first chapter that we are going to discuss here, right? So however many sources I give the homework from, that many books you should have, that many notebooks you should have, right? And this is how you are going to do. So let's say that I give homework from, okay, I give the homework from the booklet, and then I give from book 1, and then I give from book 2, right? So you have a separate notebook here for the booklet, you have a separate notebook here for source 1, and you have a separate notebook here for source 2. And then what you do is that, supposing that I have given you exercise 1.1, question number 1 to 10, right? So you will write down exercise 1.1, question 1, this is your solution. Supposing that you cannot do this, supposing that the first question you try to do, you can't. What you will do is you will leave some space here, okay? You will leave some space and move on to question number 2. Then you will try question number 2. And then, like I said, you have to ask doubts. So whatever doubts you ask for question number 1, right, you will write down here. Whatever answer you get, the solution, the correct solution, you will write down here, right? So at the end of the chapter, if this booklet has, supposing 200 questions or 250 questions, then at the end of the chapter you have one notebook where you have systematically written down every solution to every question, right? The 250 odd questions, whatever they may be in the booklet. And the same thing you are going to do for book 1, reference book 2, and any other sources that you may take from me. After you have done these 3 sources, then you may call me and say कि नहीं यार मैं तो पूरा कर लिया, अब मेरे को और questions चाहिए, so I will give more questions. Okay? The purpose of this is why is this hard work? Number 1, sitting down on your table and writing everything in rough, khatakhat, very easy, not hard work. This is hard work, okay? The purpose of this is that after 6 months, if you are going to revise this chapter, right, then open this notebook in which you have yourself written the solution to all the questions of the booklet, and then you can have a revision which will be unmatched. Okay, and since the volume of the syllabus is going to be very large, therefore this becomes all the more imperative. Okay, this becomes very, very important. Okay. Okay, so this is how you should approach all the three subjects. Okay. If you maintain these booklets like I have said for each and every chapter in all the three subjects, I can give you a guarantee in written that you will crack any competitive exam that you give. Okay? It is my guarantee. This is my experience. Okay. Now we want to start with physics, right? But before we start with physics, we have to start with maths. Why is that? Because the language of physics is maths, right? So there's a lot of maths involved, and I will teach you maths first. In fact, the first two topics that we will be discussing in physics will not be physics, it will be maths. So the actual physics we will be starting after two topics, because first you need to learn the language of physics, right? Okay. So there are some things which I expect you to know. There are some prerequisites that you should have. You know, it's like for the ICSE kids, you will understand. It's like, you know, आपको शेक्सपियर का कहानी पढ़ना है, तो the prerequisite is that आपको ABCD आना चाहिए. You cannot hand Shakespeare to a child and say कि नहीं तू पहले ये पढ़ बाद में ABCD तेरे को बताता, right? So पहले हमें वो ABCD पढ़ना पड़ेगा. Language of physics हमें पढ़ना पड़ेगा. Now, if you have studied languages, right? How many of you, by the way, how many of you can speak and write more than 2 languages? How many? Can you just write the number of languages that? Can you just write the number of languages that? No, just don't raise your hand. Just write in the chat box. Write the number of languages that you can speak. मेरे को पता चल जाएगा. 3. Okay, 3. Oh, 4. That's very nice. Very nice. 4, right? Okay. Okay, great. French, Hindi, English. Wow. Biswadeep, 4. Siddharth, 4. Okay, great. Okay. So now the thing is, let's 5. Dhruv, 5. Very nice, Dhruv. Congratulations. More languages you speak, by the way, is thought as a marker for intelligence. So the more languages you speak, the more brains you have. This is what apparently psychologists say. So supposing that I want to learn Tamil, okay? Supposing that I want to learn Tamil. Now I want to be able to read. Okay? I want to be able to read Tamil. So what is the criteria? What is the first step that I should do? Like you have done when you started English, when you started Hindi, when you started Marathi, when you started any language, the first thing is the alphabets, right? So you learn the alphabets. Now the alphabets are symbols, right? Ultimately they are symbols. So if I write, I don't remember, but if I write 4 and 4 and 4, right? Hopefully all of you will recognize these symbols. So this is the Arabic numeral 4. This is the Hindi. I think this is the Hindi. मेरा बहुत weak है. So this is the Hindi wala 4. This is the Roman wala 4. Right? So the numerals, you can recognize these numerals because your mind has been trained over a period of years to recognize these numerals, right? तो ये 4 है, आपको मालूम है, रोमन उसमें, और ये अरबिक में, ये होपफुली ये हिंदी में है. So whenever you want to learn a new language, you have to learn the new symbols, right? And all this, the 2 chapters that I'm going to discuss with you will be a collection of symbols, right? And all you have to do is really understand and remember these symbols, and that's it. That's the key. Okay, so what are the prerequisites? Okay, I'll write it down here because I won't need it later on. So what is it that I want from you? So prerequisites. पहले से आपको क्या आना चाहिए, right? ABCD पहले से आना चाहिए शेक्सपियर के लिए, तो आपको ये पढ़ने के लिए पहले से क्या आना चाहिए? So please raise your hand if you don't know. Okay, please raise your hand if you don't know what I'm going to write here. So number 1 is, I want all of you to have a knowledge of Pythagoras theorem, right? Please raise your hand if you don't know Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so I think all of you should have a knowledge of Pythagoras theorem, right? Okay. The second prerequisite that I would require from you is the definition, okay, the definition of sine, cosine and tan, right? This is the second prerequisite. Sine theta क्या होता है, cos theta क्या होता है, tan theta क्या होता है in a right angle triangle. This is it. Anybody who does not know this, please raise your hand. I will discuss. Okay. The third prerequisite, I think I'll write down here. The third prerequisite that I want from you guys would be the formula for a plus b whole square, right? This is very important for us. A plus b whole square. Anybody who does not know this, please raise your hand, okay? I'm just listing down what is the knowledge that you should have prior to this course. So a plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square, right? And you should have a knowledge of a plus b whole cubed, okay? I'm not going to write that down. If somebody raises their hand, I'll write it down. Everybody knows, I hope, a plus b whole cube. If you don't, raise your hand and I will write it down. And then, that's it. This is it. If you know these 4 things, then I guarantee that whatever I am going to discuss, very good Radhe, yes, very nice. So if you know these 4 things, whatever I am going to discuss today, you will have absolute clarity about. Okay, you will have absolute clarity about. ठीक है ना? Okay. So let's begin with physics. So I have told you how to work hard. I will follow up on this. I have told you what are the things that I need from you at this stage. ये आपको 4 चीजें मालूम होनी चाहिए, right? Apart from basic, there is one more thing, yeah. There is one more thing. 5 is basic geometry, right? Not the kind of geometry that you have studied same kind, but basic geometry. That means alternate angles क्या होते हैं, right? Complementary angles क्या होते हैं, okay? The sum of angles in a triangle is equal to 180 degrees, right? Okay? Yeah, for every chapter Vedant, you should make a new book. Absolutely, yes. So this is how we are going to. These are the prerequisites that we want for for this course, for the chapter that I'm going to teach you now. Based on these things, I'm going to build up your knowledge. I'm going to teach you new things based on these things. And then finally, we will forget about these things and talk about those things only. For example, मैंने एक बच्चे को ABCD पढ़ा दिया, अब मैं उसको शेक्सपियर की बुक दे दिया और हम शेक्सपियर डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, तो we will discuss now the finer points of Shakespeare instead of me coming back to him and saying, अरे तेरे को ABCD फिर से सिखाऊं, let's discuss ABCD again. So that is what I mean, right? So based on these things, this is the ABCD. Based on this ABCD, I'm going to teach you more complicated things. Okay, right? Okay, so let's begin with physics, and I always like to begin physics with a word about one of the greatest physics teachers that we know about, and the name of this person is Richard Feynman. Okay, now you would have not heard the name of this person. Okay, this is Richard Feynman. Now he was one of the greatest teachers of physics. He died in the 1980s, and one day I hope, not now, but 2, 3 years, 4 years down the line, I hope that you do get a chance to read a transcription of his lectures that he took in California Institute of Technology, Caltech. These are 3 books. They are called Lectures on Physics by Feynman. And they are the ultimate exposition of physics ever. Now, we will not hear the name, or you would not have heard the name of this guy, because the research that he has done has been in areas which we are not going to study. Okay, so we are going to study Newton's laws, we are going to be exposed to Einstein's theories, but this guy was working in fields which are way high. We will not be exposed to those fields, therefore we may not talk about this guy, but he is one of the greatest physicists. Okay, his name is taken right up there with Einstein and Newton. Okay, so what he said about physics is this. He said that look, physics is all about observation. So observation of what? Okay, so observation of nature. He said that if you observe nature as an intelligent person, you should be able to figure out the laws of physics. Just like supposing that you as an observer are sent to observe a game of chess. Okay, so all of you have seen, all of you know, right, how to, I hope, at least if you don't know how to play, you have seen a game of chess. So he says that as an observer, if you are sent to observe a game of chess, okay, the game of chess is going on, you are observing. You can observe the game of chess for any period of time that you want, no problems. But you cannot talk to anyone. ये क्या किया, वो क्या किया, नहीं, आप नहीं कर सकते. You can just observe. And by observing, Feynman says that it is guaranteed that after some time you would have figured out the moves of chess. Okay, so initially you don't know any chess, you are just observing the game of chess between 2 players, and after some time you will figure out the rules of the game. You may not figure out all the rules of the game, but you will figure out most of the rules of the game. तो pawn एक step आगे बढ़ता है, right? या rook straight line में चलता है, right? So you will be able to figure out all these rules just by observation. And this is exactly what we do in nature. Okay? This is exactly what we do in nature. We observe, okay? We observe and we figure out, we look out for the patterns that emerge from this observation, and then we say that if this pattern exists in this observation, then maybe this is a universal pattern. Maybe this pattern exists, everywhere. Right? नहीं अभी हाँ अभी let me just मेरे को पानी देना गला ग्लास हो गया. Thank you. So just give me a couple of. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to observe nature. By the way, somebody asked वो phenomenon ने किसमें किया था? The field is called quantum electrodynamics, right? And we don't want to, we never want to go there. It is a very difficult field, and quantum electrodynamics, dynamics. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to observe nature, and we want to look out for certain patterns, and we want to see whether this pattern is universal or not. That means that अगर मेरे को ये pattern यहाँ दिखाई दे रहा है, तो क्या ये pattern एक unknown situation में भी valid रहेगा, right? And if it is, then we say that this is a law of physics, right? Okay, so I want to carry out an experiment. Ultimately, all observation is experiment, and when you carry out an experiment, then you look at the experiment and you draw certain conclusions from the experiment, right? So I am going to carry out a very simple experiment. So the experiment is that I have a car, supposing this is the car, and this car will move, it will simply move in a straight line. And what I want to do, and I have a stopwatch with me, so what I want to do is, sitting inside the car, I just want to see that after 1 second how far it has moved. See, and I have plotted that point. After 2 seconds how far it has moved, I have plotted that point. After 3 seconds how far it has moved, I have plotted that point. So what I do is that I carry out this experiment, okay? I carry out this experiment, very, very simple experiment, and I write down the data of this experiment like this. So supposing that I say time is here and distance is here, right? Okay. So can we play that video again? Anu sir, please play that video again so that we can see the experiment again. So the time is okay, so the time is going to be, if you see, it is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, right? This is the time. And let's see the distance. The distance is going to be, as seen in the video, the distance is going to be 0. So at time t is equal to 0, the car was at 0, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3, right? Okay? Very, very simple experiment. Very, very simple. So, what is the relationship? What is the relationship between time and distance traveled? What is the relationship between time and distance traveled? Can I, or can you, looking at this table, predict that if everything remains the same, then what will be the distance traveled when the time is 100 seconds? Right? What will be the distance? Can you tell me what will be the distance traveled when the time is 100 seconds? Can you tell me what is the distance traveled? Yes, I mean, this is very, very nice. So this is what prediction means. This is what we mean by carrying out an experiment and predicting it will be 100 meters. Okay? But ऐसा तो है नहीं कि इस दुनिया में एक ही कार है, हो सकता है अलग अलग कार हो, हाँ? तो ये एक्सपेरिमेंट के रिजल्ट दूसरे भी आ सकते हैं. Okay? Let's carry out this experiment again with a different car this time. Okay? And this time, again I'm going to Oh, the car is better this time, I hope. So again, I'm going to carry out this experiment. But this time, if you look at the results, they are different. So in 1 second, the car has traveled a distance of 2 meters. And in 2 seconds, the car has, I think, 3 meters. The car has traveled a distance of 6 meters, right? So if I make this table again for this new car, for this, I think, better car, एक बार फिर से let us see the video. So this is time, this is distance, right? So the 0, 1, 2, 3, I'll only write for 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is, I think in 1 second it is going to 2 meters, or 2 seconds it is going to 6, nahin. So this is 0, this is 3, this is 6, and let's say that this is 9. Now, okay, please look at this data. Please look at this data and tell me what is going to happen at t is equal to 100 seconds. What is going to happen at t is equal to? Can you very good, yes, absolutely, absolutely, yes, yes, yes. Yeah, so you have spotted a pattern, right? You have spotted a pattern. Everybody who is writing, you have spotted a pattern. What is the pattern? What is the pattern you can see in this table? 100 seconds mein the car will travel 300 meters, absolutely correct. What is the pattern? What is the relationship between distance and time? How did you come up with 300? Very nice. Yes, yes, yes. Very good. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So D, it turns out, is 3 into T. Okay. D is equal to 3 times time. 0 times 3, 0. 1 times 3, 3. 2 times 3, 6. 3 times 3, 9. And I am assuming that this pattern will continue. Therefore, 100 times 3, 300. Very nice. What is the pattern, by the way, in the first table? What is the pattern in the first table? The pattern in the first table is that D is equal to T, right? So what we want to do is we want to compare these two things, right? We want to have a comparison between these two things. Now, tabular results are all very nice, okay? Tabular results are all very nice, but what we saw in the video, we want to do that. We want to draw a graph, okay? For the, we want to draw a graph. नहीं अभी अनुस कुछ हाँ आराम से. So we want to draw a graph between these values, right? So let's put T on this axis, let's put D on this axis, right? Another prerequisite, by the way, I forgot. यहाँ पे number 6 आना चाहिए. Graph, basic plotting of a graph. So T is equal to 0, D is equal to 0. ये रहा. T is equal to 1, D is equal to 1. Let's say it is here. T is equal to 2, D is equal to 2. Let's say it is here. And नहीं यहाँ नहीं होएगा. यहाँ से हटा देते हैं इसको. यहाँ पे करते हैं. Right? And T is equal to 3, 3. Let's say here. Right? So I want to draw a line. I want to draw a graph between T and D, and this is what I draw. Okay? Now, on the same graph paper, let's draw the graph for this guy, for the second car, the better car. I think second wali Lamborghini thi, pehli wali BMW thi. So 0, 0, 1, 3, 2, 6, 0, 0, same point, 1, 3 now, 1, 3 is somewhere here, and 2, 6 is somewhere here, and 3, 9 is somewhere here. And then if I draw the straight line, I get something like this. Very good, Jashan. Yes, that's where I'm getting at. Yes, yes. So Jashan has already studied He has already studied what we are discussing here. So yeah, absolutely right. So there is a fundamental difference between the graph of car 1, let's say this is car 1, and let's say that this is the graph of car 1 and this is car 2, so therefore this is the graph of car 2. Right? Okay. So what is the fundamental difference between these two graphs? I want to compare, I want to have a comparison. I have carried out two different experiments. Okay, I have carried out two different experiments. I have plotted the results of the two different experiments here, and I now want to know what is the difference. Are they the same? Is there a difference? Why is it that this car goes only 100 meters in 100 seconds? Why does this car go 300 meters in 100 seconds? What is the difference? Right? So, yeah, very good. Very good, Parth. Arnav, yes, absolutely. Very good. Yes, yes. Well, Prasun, हम speed word अभी use नहीं करेंगे. Please notice that मैंने speed word use ही नहीं किया. I don't know speed क्या होती. मेरे को मालूम ही नहीं है भाई. मैंने एक experiment carry out किया और उसके ये results हैं. मैं केवल ये results को compare करना चाहता हूँ. Right? Okay, Prasun. So what you are saying is right, but what is it in the construction of the graph that I should compare? So both are straight lines, both pass through 0, 0. So what is the difference between these two graphs? Right? And I think, yeah, Chintan, bilkul sahi Soham. So the difference is this guy. Okay? So if I were to take a protractor, and if I were to measure the angle made by the straight lines with this horizontal axis, I would get two different angles, right? And it is guaranteed from this diagram that the angle will be greater for which car? The angle will be greater for which car? The angle will be greater for car number 2. Right? And this this makes sense because car number 2 is traveling a very large distance as compared to car number 1 in the same time. So this makes a lot of sense. So in physics, what we do is that we want to compare different experiments. If we want to compare different experiments, then we draw the graph, okay? And then we talk about the inclination of the graph from the horizontal axis. And this thing, okay, very, very important, is called the slope of the graph. And this is what we will be discussing for at least 7 to 8, maybe 10, I don't know, lectures. Okay. So the slope of the graph is the inclination of the graph with the horizontal axis. Now, what do I write down here? What do I say this is equal to? What is the obvious choice? What is the obvious choice? Slope is equal to what? What should I write? This angle I have measured, this angle I have measured using a protractor. What should I write? Yeah. Parth. Very good. Excellent. Yes. Yes, Jashan. Of course. Yes. So the first choice would be to write the angle. Let's say that this angle is theta 1. Let's say that this angle is theta 2. Okay. A word about the symbols that I am using. Okay. Please be very, very aware. So this symbol that I use, 0 के बीच में एक horizontal line, is the Greek letter theta, which you would have studied in geometry, right? Okay. So instead of saying that the slope is the angle itself, which would be very nice, which would make sense absolutely. But instead of saying that the slope is this angle, what I am going to do for purposes of mathematics, for purposes of making my life very convenient later on, I am going to say, instead of saying theta 1, theta 2, I am going to say that the slope is tan theta. Okay, so the slope of a straight line, slope of a straight line, slope of a straight line is equal to tan theta. Now, can we find this theta? Is it possible to find this theta? Well, I think it is. And the way that I want to find tan theta, okay, definition of tan theta, अगर आपको tan नहीं दिखाई दे रहा मैं यहाँ लिख देता हूँ tan theta. So definition of tan theta is nothing but opposite over the adjacent side. Okay, opposite over the adjacent side. So tan theta को लाने के लिए मेरे को यहाँ पे एक right angle triangle बनाना पड़ेगा. Right? Remember that I mean the definition of sine, cos, tan is coming from right angle triangles. So I want to construct a right angle triangle here. Okay, and the way that I want to construct a right angle triangle is to say that look, let the y coordinate of this point be y1 and let the y coordinate of this point be y2 and the y coordinate of this point be x2, x coordinate x2, and let's take another point, let's take this point, and the x coordinate of this point is x1 and the y coordinate of this point is y1. I hope that now you can see a right angle triangle emerging. I am one line away from making that right angle triangle. Right? And before I make that right angle triangle, I must tell you that our best friend in physics, okay, our absolute best friend in physics is a right angle triangle. आप कहीं भी फंस रहे हो, you are doing a problem and you are stuck. One of the first things that I look for is a right angle triangle. Okay? So here we have a right angle triangle and the right angle triangle is this. Okay? So this is a right angle triangle that we have. And if this angle is theta 1, okay, if this angle is theta 1, then what is the value of this angle? If this angle is theta 1, then what is the value of this angle? This must also be theta 1. Why? Well, this is the concept of basic geometry. This is a concept of, I think it is called alternate angles. Alternate corresponding angles. Sorry, yeah, Jashan, yeah, thank you. So this is called corresponding angles. So if you have a straight line and if you draw two parallel lines like this, then this angle and this angle are same. So this is क्या बोला था, corresponding angle. Corresponding angle. Okay? So if this angle is theta 1, then it is guaranteed that this is theta 1. Okay, now please look at the graph carefully. Okay, and ये थोड़ा सा clear नहीं है, x2. Look at the graph carefully. Okay, and please tell me the height of this right angle triangle. Look at the graph carefully and please tell me the height of this right angle triangle. The height of this right angle triangle. Very good, Advait. Yes. Absolutely right, Dhruv. Yes. Yes, Aditya. Good. Very good. Yes. Right? So, all of you are, I hope, recognizing that if this distance is y2, because the y coordinate of this point is y2, and if this distance is y1, because the y coordinate of this point is y1, then this distance must be this distance minus this distance. Therefore, it must be y2 minus y1. Okay, and similarly, please tell me the base of the right angle, the length of the base of the right angle triangle. Right? This is also very easy. This distance is x2 because the x coordinate of this point is x2. And this distance is x1 because the x coordinate of this point is x1. Therefore, this distance must be how much? It must be this minus this, and therefore we get x2 minus x1. Right? And now I am in a position to write the value of tan theta, okay, and tan theta, which is equal to opposite over adjacent, will be equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, where x1 y1 and x2 y2 are the coordinates of 2 points on that straight line. Okay? So x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2 are coordinates of 2 points on the straight line. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is, in your copybooks, I want you to write, okay, I want you to write everything. I will take a 2-minute break. I'll stand right here and I will take a 2-minute break, and then I'll come back. So please write everything in your copies, okay? Okay, so I hope you noted everything down. Okay, so we want to find the slope of graphs, right? The whole chapter is dedicated. To finding the slope of graphs. Okay. It turns out in physics that the slope of a graph is actually another physical quantity, or it may be another physical quantity, right? So I think it was Parth who said speed. तो distance और time का जो graph बनाया हमने, उसका जो slope होएगा, that will be equal to speed, which is another physical quantity, right? And I can give you lots of examples where the slope of a graph gives you another physical quantity, which is very important for us. So to find patterns in our observations when studying physics, we must draw graphs and we must find their slopes. Okay. So the slope of a straight line, I have given you the definition, right? And I'll write it again here. So the symbol that I'm going to use, symbol of the slope of a straight line is equal to m. अब ये m क्यों है ये मेरे को मालूम नहीं है. I don't know. So m is equal to tan theta, where theta is the angle made by the straight line with the x-axis, and is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Okay, which is the two coordinates on the graph itself, right? Okay, now हाँ अभी चैप्टर आते हैं, अभी चैप्टर पे नाम पे आते हैं. Why do you need to know the name of the chapter? You don't need that. You only need to learn what we are discussing. Okay. So now I want to carry out another experiment. Okay, I want to carry out another experiment. Involving another car, and what will happen now is that the motion of the car will be slightly more complicated as compared to before. Okay, I'm sorry, मैं गायब हो गया. So now the car is, well, it's not a car, I think it's a truck. So now the car is moving and it is going to move forward and it is going to sort of slow down and then it is going to move backwards, and the graph that we are going to get will no longer be a straight line. And this is a real possibility in physics, right? I mean, this is something which is going to happen more often than not. You are not going to get straight lines always. Okay. Wow, that's nice. In fact, I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story about the slopes of graphs. So, has everybody heard about exoplanets? नाम सुना है सबने exoplanet का? Exoplanet क्या होता है? Everybody knows? नहीं? An exoplanet is a planet which is outside our solar system. That means a planet which is orbiting another star. Okay? Which is orbiting another star. Till date, we humans have found around, I think around 8,000 exoplanets, which is a very big feat. Okay? Which is a very big feat of science. We know that there are other planets around other stars, right? Now, you can't observe these planets with a telescope. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप रात में बाहर जाके और Alpha Centauri पे आपने बोला ओ देखो planet है वहाँ पे. नहीं, you can't do that because that planet is so small, so far away that you can't possibly see it, and furthermore it is not a source of light. Okay. So what we do is we look at the star, we focus the telescope on the star and we draw a graph. We draw a graph between, can anybody guess between what and what? We draw a graph between what and what? We want to find exoplanets. We have focused the telescope on a star, okay, let's say Alpha Centauri, and we want to draw a graph between what and what. Very good, Arnav, yes, absolutely right. So what I will do, यहाँ पे करते हैं, so that you can later on see the videos here. So what I will do is that I will draw a graph between the intensity of light and time. Okay? So the graph that I get should be like this. Why? Because the intensity of the star, right? We are assuming that the star itself is not having variable intensity. So the intensity of the star, intensity of light coming from the star is constant. This should be, okay, this should be, ऐसा होना चाहिए. But when the scientists observed with very sensitive equipment, they observed something like this. Yeah. So what is happening to the intensity with time? So intensity is remaining constant, but then there is a dip in intensity. Then again it remains constant, then there is another dip in the intensity. Right? Why do you think this is happening? What possible reason can there be? What possible reason can there be for this dip in the intensity of a star? So we have focused our telescope on the star, and then, very good, yes. So what is happening is that a planet is revolving around that star, remember, like this. And we are looking from here. And the moment the planet comes in, right, the intensity of the star is blocked by a small amount, of course. And if I look at the slope of this, right, from the slope of this, I can actually predict the size of the planet, right? So slope is important. Slope is very important, okay? Okay, so I want to see that experiment again with the car, okay? So the experiment is that the car is going, but this time the slope of the graph is not a straight line. Okay? It is something else. It is a curve. And we want to find the slope of this curve, right? We want to find the slope of this curve. So let me just draw a curve here. So we want to find the slope of this curve. I don't know, let's say something like this. Yeah, so you see the graph that the experiment has given us. It is a curve like this. I have drawn some other curve, okay? In fact, I have drawn a very special curve, and I will show you why this curve is special. So I want to write down another set of data for you. I want to write down another set of data for you, and you have to tell me the relationship between this set of data. So this is x, this is y, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and y is 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. So can you tell me now what will happen when the value of x is, I don't know, 10? Can you tell me what will, very good, yeah. Exactly, right? So very nice. You are spotting the patterns. Very, very good. Yes, yes. That is what it is all about, spotting the patterns, right? So the relationship between y and x is that y is equal to what? Very good. Very good, Avnish. Yes. Y is equal to x square. Right? This is the pattern. This is the pattern that I observe. Right? You want another one? This is more difficult. I don't know whether you'll be able to do it or not. But if you want to do it quickly. So x, y, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I think I can fit in. Yeah, 5. So y is 3, 5, 11, 21, 35. Can you tell me the pattern? Can you tell me the pattern? What is the relationship between x and y? थोड़ा सा और complicated, slightly more complicated. नहीं, ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि मैंने गलती कर दी हो, तो कोई पैटर्न ही नहीं. But I think there is a pattern. So what I tried to do, very good, yes, Abhinav has figured it out, very good. तो अभिनव ये सब पे फिट हो रहा है ना? I hope it is. मैंने कहीं गलत वैल्यूज तो नहीं दे दी हैं उसमें. So 2x square plus 3. And if you put in the values, you will find that this is okay, right. ठीक है? Okay. So what I want to do is that I want to figure out the slope of this graph. Okay, I want to figure out the slope of this graph. But unfortunately, we have figured out only the slope of straight lines. We have not figured out how to find the slope of curves. Okay, so what do I do? What is it that I should do? So what I will do is, क्या करना चाहिए? राजेश थोड़ा सा आगे चला गया यार, ये तो वेरी नाइस, वेरी गुड राजेश. यस, नहीं अद्वैत, नो. ओके, आई विल शो यू व्हाट आई विल डू. आई विल शो यू. हाँ अनु सर, आई विल शो यू. So now this is the graph, right? This is the graph. We want to find the slope of this graph. You remember वो क्लास 10th में ना वो प्रोजेक्ट बनाना होता था, वो चार्ट पेपर पे मैच स्टिक फेवी स्टिक से चिपकाते थे. तो इफ आई गिव यू अ बंच ऑफ मैच स्टिक्स एंड इफ आई आस्क यू टू स्टिक दीज मैच स्टिक्स ऑन दिस कर्व, व्हाट डू यू थिंक दिस इज गोइंग टू लुक लाइक? What do you think this is going to look like? This will look like this, right? So I have put a bunch of matchsticks on the graph. Okay? So these matchsticks, they are on the graph, but they don't fit very well. Okay? They don't fit very well, but they are straight lines. They don't fit very well. So what I do is I break the matchsticks in half and I try to fit them again. What will happen? The fit will be better, but it will not be exactly on the curve. So what I do is I break the matchsticks again into smaller pieces and then I fit them back again, right? And when I fit them back again, then the matchsticks, they are exactly on the curve, provided that I have broken the matchsticks into infinitesimally small pieces. So a curve is nothing but a collection of infinitesimally small straight lines. Okay? How do I find where that straight line is? Right? How do I pinpoint that straight line? So I take a point here, okay, as I will on this graph, and I take another point which is very, very small distance away. And it is guaranteed that between these 2 points, okay, it is guaranteed that between these 2 points, the graph looks like a straight line, right? As you can see here. Okay, so what are the 2 points that I am going to take? Well, the 2 points that I am going to take are x, okay, and time for a new symbol. This is a symbol which you have not seen before, and this is a very weird symbol for coming from class 10th, but still I will write x plus delta x. Okay, so the new symbol is delta x. Okay, this is read as, you read it as delta x. Okay, it is not It is not delta multiplied by x. Okay? It is not delta multiplied by x. It is delta x. It is a single object. It is not two objects multiplied together. It is a single object delta x. And it is generally used to represent change in the quantity. So delta x means change in x. Okay? I will use delta x because I want this change to be very, very small. Okay? So delta x is a small change in the value of x. And it is such a small number. What happens, by the way, with small numbers? What is the square of 0.1? If I ask you, what is the, ये हटा दीजिए अब इसको. What is the square of 0.1? Square of 0.1, square of 0.1 is 0.01. Square of 0.01 is 0.001. And if I have a very, very huge number of zeros in a number, so 0.000000, many zeros and 1, which is what small change means. And if I square it, then I will get double the number of zeros into 1, right? And I don't want to write that kind of a number. So I will say that if I square this, right, or if I cube this, then I am going to end up with a 0. Okay? So delta x itself is a very small number. I can handle that small number, no problems. But delta x square is such a small number that for all practical purposes I will take it as 0. Okay? Now, please answer my series of questions. Please answer my series of questions. Ready at the keyboard. When x is equal to 1, y is equal to what? Remember that this is the graph of y is equal to x square. Remember that this is the graph of y is equal to x square. X is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. X is equal to 2, y is equal to 4. X is equal to 3, y is equal to, x is equal to 4, y is equal to, x is equal to 5, y is equal to, x is equal to x, y is equal to. आया समझ में जो मैं बोलने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं? 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9, 4, 16, 5, 25, x square. So this point must be x square. X plus delta x. What will be this point? Okay, again you can follow. Again you can follow. 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9, 4, 16, 5, 25, 6, 36, 7, 49. X plus delta x. X plus delta x. X plus delta x ka whole square. Right? Okay. Now I hope you will agree with me that number one, this is a straight line. It is a straight line because delta x is extremely small, right? And we saw with the matchsticks, if you keep on breaking the matchsticks and you make it extremely small, then that gives you a straight line. Then it fits the curve exactly. So you agree with me on two things. Number one, that this is a straight line. Number two, you know the coordinates of 2 points on the straight line. So what are the coordinates of this point? Well, the coordinates of this point are, all I have to do is read from the graph. This is x and this is x square. This is x comma x square. And what is the coordinate of this point? Well, again, I just have to read it from the graph. It is x plus delta x comma x plus delta x ka whole square. Okay? So we have a straight line, or at least we have part of the curve that looks like a straight line, and we know 2 points on this straight line. And therefore now I can apply this guy, okay, and I can find the slope. So let's find the slope. Slope will be equal to y2 minus y1 x plus delta x whole square minus y1, that is x square, divided by x2 minus x1 x plus delta x minus x. Okay, right? I hope everybody is agree. If anybody is not understanding, please do write on the chat no. Okay, if you write no, I will understand. हाँ अमृत बताओ क्या नहीं समझ में आया इसमें. अमृत अमित क्या नाम है? अमृत. हाँ बताओ अमृत. Please type and tell me what you did not understand. Which point you are not understanding. हाँ. You understand, you agree with me that this will look like a straight line? Ha. Okay, Amrit. So you understand that this will look like a straight line? Yes or no? You understand that this part of the curve will look like a straight line? Okay. Will you agree with me that this is x, then this will be x square? If this is x coordinate, then the y coordinate of this point will be x square? Yes or a no? Okay. If this point is x plus delta x, then the corresponding y coordinate is x plus delta x whole square, Amrit? Yes or a no? Very good. So will you agree with me that the x and y coordinates of this point is x comma x square? Will you agree with me, Amrit, that this point has coordinates x comma x square and therefore this point has coordinates x plus delta x comma x plus delta x whole square? Good. Now, the slope we had defined for a straight line is here and it is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, right? y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So all you do is you say that, look, this is y2, this is x2. This is y1, this is x1, and you simply place these values y2, x2, y1, x1 in this formula and you get this. Is it understood now, Amrit? मैंने क्या किया? है ना? Okay, good, great. So now let's open the brackets and therefore I told you a plus b whole square का मेरे को requirement आएगा. So if I open the brackets, I get x square plus delta x whole square. Remember, you can't write it as delta square x square. No, delta x is a single object, okay? Minus 2x into this object delta x minus x square whole divided by x minus x हो गया, केवल बचा नीचे delta x. Okay? Now, what is this delta x square? What is this delta x square? Delta x square की क्या value आएगी? Delta x square will be equal to 0, right? So I'll get x square plus 0 minus 2x multiplied by delta x minus x square whole divided by delta x. And x square cancel out. I get, sorry मैं minus पता नहीं मैं कहाँ से ले आया हूँ, plus होएगा यहाँ पे. I will get 2x. अच्छा अमृत को ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा था. Oh sorry अमृत, yeah मेरी गलती. So 2x into delta x whole divided by delta x. I cancel this out and I end up with 2x. Right guys, so what we have done is that we have found the slope of y is equal to x square, right? And it comes out to be 2x. What does this mean? It comes out to be 2x. What does this mean? It means that when you place a matchstick here, right, then the slope of the matchstick must be equal to twice the value of the x coordinate here. If you place a matchstick here, then the slope of that matchstick must be twice the value of the x coordinate here, and since the x coordinate here is large, therefore the slope here will be large, inclination will be large, and therefore आप जो वहाँ पे रखोगे matchstick वो ऐसे जाएगा, यहाँ पे matchstick ऐसे जाएगा, यहाँ पे matchstick ऐसे जाएगा, यहाँ पे matchstick ऐसे जाएगा, right? So the slope can increase. Yeah, very good, Soham. Yes, exactly, that is what I've written. Exactly, Advait. Yes, yes, yes. So, you wanted to know the name of the chapter. The name of the chapter is Differential Calculus. Right? The name is very big, but oh, sorry, दिखाई नहीं दे रहा. Oh, sorry. Name is very big, but the differential calculus. Okay, so I will stop here for today. I will stop here. We'll do this again in the next class. Okay, we'll do this again in the next class. And in the next class, we'll try to find out a pattern which exists in the values that we are getting here. We'll see different curves. Okay, we'll see different curves and we'll try to extract the slope of different curves, and we will see that a pattern emerges. And this pattern emerges, the pattern that emerges is basically calculus. Okay? So calculus is nothing but finding the slope of the graph. Now I will be sending you on PDF the booklet. The booklet is divided into lectures. Okay, so this is lecture 1. So what you can do now is read lecture 1 in that booklet, and you can do the questions of lecture 1 in that booklet. Not many questions are there, only 4 or 5 questions will be there. Okay, there are 2 types of questions. One was called the ICE, that is in-class examples, and the other is a tutorial which was supposed to be the homework. So both you will get. Try to do the questions. If you can't do the questions, don't worry about it. Because lecture 1 का मतलब ये नहीं है कि next time I will be starting with lecture 2. I will be continuing with this. We'll stay on lecture 1 at least for the next class, and then we'll move on to lecture 2. Okay. So again, remember what I told you about the hard work. This is something that everybody has to do. Okay. The question should be done in the homework book. Okay. The question should be done in the homework book. I'll organize a separate doubt lecture for this. Okay, so somebody will come, and if you have not solved, they will help you out. You already have my number. You can send me on WhatsApp. You can call me anytime for your doubts. Okay, right? I hope you understood what was taught today. New concept was taught. Okay. Advik, बताओ क्या doubts है बच्चा? बताओ. Tell me the doubts. You want to clear your doubts now? I will do it now. You want to clear your doubts later? I will do it later. जैसा बताओ, whatever you say. बताओ अद्विक, क्या करना है? Yes, exactly. Yes, Prasun. Yes. So tan theta is equal to 2x. Yes. Tan theta is equal to 2x. So at x is equal to 1, the slope will be tan theta is equal to 2. Let me say tan theta 1 is equal to 2. Okay. So theta 1 कौन सा एंगल होता है such that tan theta is equal to 2? That you will have to put in a calculator. You can't. This is beyond our standard table of results जहाँ पे आपको sin cos tan of 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees सिखाते थे, right? So theta 1 will be that angle. You can do it on a scientific calculator. I'll show you in the next class कैसे करते हैं वो. So tan theta 1 will be such an angle that theta 1 will be such an angle that tan theta 1 will be equal to 2, and when you are at x equal to 1, then the slope of the matchstick that you have put here will be such that it will make an angle theta 1 with the axis. Okay. Delta x approximately 0 नहीं होएगा. Okay. Delta x approximately 0 नहीं होएगा. Delta x will be very close to 0 but not 0. Right? Okay. Chalo. So I will talk to all of you individually if required. Don't worry about it. And I will see you in the next class. By next class, please try to read lecture 1 completely, and if possible, you can read lecture 2 as well before coming to the class. Okay, guys? Chalo. Bye bye. Bye bye.